More than $34 million has already been spent on the project, yet the commission still has to okay the plan and a funding formula. Estimated costs could top $100 million on the facility, which is 3 times the 1987 estimate for that project. Well, turning to Wichita now. Federal Judge Patrick Kelly has ordered a 4-month jail term for the leader of one anti-abortion protest in that city. The federal judge stepped in after local and state authorities had trouble controlling the protesters who were blocking access to 2 abortion clinics. Judge Kelly did let 10 other protesters go after they promised to obey his order that they stop infringing on others' constitutional rights by blocking their access. Well, this week, the Kearney area Buffalo County Crime Stoppers are investigating a theft at the Ramada Inn. Sometime between the hours of 9 a.m. and 11:40 p.m. on August 12th, 5 video game machines were broken into, and a large number of quarters were taken. The total loss of coins and damage was $896. If you have any information about this crime, you can call 237-3424, or you can write to Box 424 in Kearney. Israel and Muslim kidnappers in Lebanon may be showing fresh signs of making a deal. The kidnappers' umbrella group reportedly says it's holding 2 of 7 Israeli servicemen missing in Lebanon. Officials of Hezbollah reportedly say if Israel frees Arab prisoners, including Sheikh Abdul Obaid, they will let the servicemen go. Obaid is a radical Shiite Muslim being held by Israelis. According to Israeli radio, Hezbollah is considering letting Red Cross officials examine the captured servicemen. In return, the kidnappers want the Red Cross to check in on Obaid. In the meantime, freed hostage Edward Tracy will return to U.S. soil tomorrow. U.S. military officials say the former captive will be flown to Boston for additional medical care. While tests show the 60-year-old is in good physical shape, he will undergo psychiatric counseling to help him deal with the transition of captivity for over 5 years to life as a free man. Well, Iraq does have a super gun, and UN inspectors have finally taken a look at it. The 172-foot cannon is designed to fire nuclear and chemical weapons hundreds of miles. Inspectors had suspected for some time that Iraq was not disclosing all of its arsenal. The gun isn't operational, but it will be destroyed as part of the ceasefire agreement. Well, Ralph Wall, our big gun, weather guy, joins us. You sound a lot better today than you did yesterday.
Yeah, I think I'm gradually working this cold and a variety of other problems out of my system.
Nicer day for you and everybody else with the cold, too.
And rain, we had a repeat. I was talking about the possibility of a repeat performance of the night before weather-wise. We did see a repeat performance. It's just that the encore shifted further south. It was more of a Kansas event than a Nebraska event, so we missed out. We might still see a few storms tonight in some areas.
At Mid-Plains Community College in North Platte
and McCook Community College,
I can ease into college life with 2-year academic transfer.
Or I can boost my career in a business, health, or technical program.
I can go to college full-time, part-time, day or night.
And my instructors know their stuff too.
But more important, they know you.
All for the lowest tuition in Nebraska.
That's good news for my future and my budget.
Mid-Plains Community College and McCook Community College. Classes begin August 22nd. Reserve your spot now.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go.
It's factory authorized clearance time again.
Well, it's time to go.
When your Dodge dealer has to say goodbye to his 91 Dodges. Big total savings, even no extra charge air on select Caravans. But hurry, before your Dodge dealer says goodnight to 91 savings forever.
Good night, sweetheart. Good night.
Advantage Dodge. See your local Dodge dealer today.
Get ready for school at the back-to-school sales in McCook.
Personal service makes a difference at Fashion Crossroads. Fashions at great prices for back to school. Sizes in juniors, misses, and plus sizes. Let Fashion Crossroads make you look your best for back to school. For quality senior portraits, see Hubbard Photography. Continue to cherish those old photos with photo restoration. And plan now for family Christmas portraits at Hubbard Photography, downtown McCook.
For all your back to school needs, shop McCook.
For
For Nebraskans, the creation and preservation of wildlife habitat is an important responsibility. For our wildlife, Nebraska's outdoors must provide all their needs for food, water, and shelter. In short, survival. Whether your spread is a Sandhills ranch, a southeastern cornfield, or urban backyard, the need for good habitat is critical. Be informed, get involved, contact the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission, and ask how you can get a copy of the new Habitat Improvement Guide from Nebraska Land Magazine. Write or call today.
Taking a look at our current conditions, Kearney was 70 in the last hour, Grand Island a little warmer at 74. So Grand Island's been doing some catching up, because at one point earlier this morning around 6 a.m. Grand Island was 50 and Kearney was 58. So Grand Island's rebounding nicely. Of course, you get that fog burned off, get some sunshine, and that'll do wonders. 72 at Hastings. Winds are light out of the east and northeast. Other temperatures, depending on where you're at, pretty cool in some places. Only 62 out at Alliance, 61 at Sidney. But we're milder in the east with 76 at Beatrice and 75 at Concordia. Wind reports over eastern areas more out of the northeast on the front side of a high pressure ridge that's flowing. And then on the back side of that flow, we're seeing more of a southeasterly or occasionally southwesterly wind develop across western areas. And the pattern will probably hold pretty much like this through the afternoon as far as direction is concerned. We finally burned off a lot of the low-level cloud cover, which never was showing up on the satellite to begin with, and traditionally that's a lot of times the case with fog. It doesn't show up. But we had quite a bit of it this morning, and some locations had visibilities down into the eighths of a mile. Broken Bow at one point had visibility at 3/8 of a mile. We have a frontal system down across the southern plains and the western high plains. Might still get a few disturbances spinning off of that, so in the vicinity of this front we might still see a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity into tonight and tomorrow morning, mainly for the panhandle of Nebraska, possibly southwestern Nebraska, and a big maybe in northwestern Kansas for that sort of thing. Even at that, the probabilities for tonight only 20% for storms in the west. Otherwise, high pressure generally working to keep us mostly fair and dry, at least over the eastern areas. That will be the case. This entire situation, the high pressure exerting some pressure this way, forced what precipitation has developed with this to be mainly a Kansas, Oklahoma, and northern Texas event, while last night it was further north and mostly in Nebraska. Here's where your showers are at the present time. I guess there is some activity in southern Iowa and northern Missouri, but as far as something in our viewing area right now, everything is dry. Highs yesterday, some 60s and 70s. Omaha, though, got up to 83 for the state high and the high for the region, and the overnight low this morning was 49 at Broken Bow. Otherwise, the temperatures were mostly in the 50s. For today, and a lot of areas have already accomplished becoming partly cloudy. Some areas further west will gradually become partly sunny through the afternoon, so we'll leave that forecast about as is. Winds will be out of the northwest and northeast over eastern areas, but east-southeasterly for western areas. And temperatures today mainly mid-70s to low 80s, though further east and where there's been more hours of sunshine, we may see some temperatures get up to around 85 today. Wouldn't rule that out. Tonight, fair to partly cloudy. Might see some fog redevelop in some areas, and more so toward Kansas. A few storms, as I said before, in the panhandle or southwestern parts of Nebraska, only 20% chance. Had temperatures mid-50s to low 60s tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Temperatures warming up, getting a little closer to some August norms, with readings in the mid and upper 80s for tomorrow, and south winds generally under 15 miles per hour expected. Extended forecast might see some isolated precipitation on Thursday in the Sandhills. Otherwise, Friday looks like our next best shot at widespread precipitation. Temperatures staying mostly in the 80s. Very untypical of August. I can remember a lot of Augusts in this area where we've had temperatures up there around 100, thus the dog days of August. We've had it very nice this month so far.
It's been very nice. Pleasant temperatures and nice evenings.
Hopefully it'll continue for a bit.
I hope so too. Thanks,
All right.
Ralph.
You bet.
Well, there's more to hunting than grabbing a gun and running after the game. That's what safety courses target. This 10-hour course teaches young hunters the rules of gaming and safety with firearms. The main thing to remember, don't load your gun until you're ready to use it.
So if you wait until you get in the field where you can actually hunt before you load your gun, we wouldn't have accidents at home, we wouldn't have them in the car, and we wouldn't have them alongside the road. lot of times you'll see something.
Nebraska is one of the few states that doesn't require a safety course, but the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission strongly encourages young people to take the class before they hunt. The course is offered through Kearney's Parks and Recreation Department through pheasant season. Well, now is the time when school kids are getting ready to go back to school, and that means your babysitter might not be available. But how do you go about looking for quality childcare? What should you look for? And what should it cost? Joining us is Seal Swears of the Buffalo County Extension Office to talk a little bit about finding quality childcare for your children. How do you even start with something like this?
A really good thing that we have in the community of Kearney is First Call for Help. If you call United Way, they will provide you with two things. One is a NEV guide on how to select a child care provider, but second of all, they will provide you with a listing of those in the community who are licensed daycare providers.
Sounds like a great way to start. Once you get the listing, what should you look for? Should you go through maybe a checklist of something to find out possibly what you might want in the way of a child care provider?
There really are three things that you need to look for. Look at the caregiver themselves, the setting as far as the place, the location, and also what activities are provided. So to look at those individually, the caregiver, is it a warm person, a caring person, someone who you know when your child returns home is going to still love you as they did before they left in the morning?
Okay, with children, are there certain child care facilities that cater to infants as opposed to older children? Should you look for activities then that your child will be interested in?
Very much so. And the checklist really spells that out according to what age your child is. That will vary with what requirements you need in a caregiver themselves. It also says if you're taking an infant, the Nebraska State Department, the regulations as far as licensing, if there's an infant in the home, according to the regulations, they can only have fewer children than if they're older kids or older children. So it does vary, and there's an excellent licensing program or process that you can go through if, on the other hand, you decide that you want to provide and be a child care provider in your home as well.
Okay, well, Seal, thanks for the information, and we will we'll talk to you next week again.
Great. All right, thanks, Pam.
Well, let's check some of the upcoming events in our area. Thursday night, the Minden Community Players open their production of Tom Sawyer. This is the children's production. The young cast will perform at Chautauqua Park Bandshell at 6:30 Thursday night and at 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday. The cost is $2.50 a person. Coming up this weekend, the annual Cozad Fire Department dance gets underway. That's from 8 to 1 at the Cozad Airport. If you go early, you can get in on the barbecue from 5:30 to 7:30. The dance features the Imposters. On a health note, the Merritt County Health Department is holding an immunization clinic. That will be from 2 to 4 p.m. this Wednesday. It's at the Community Hall in Central City. Residents of Merritt County will be charged $1 service. Out-of-county residents will be charged $6. Please bring all immunization records for your child, and remember that only a parent or guardian can sign for a child to be immunized. And the Merrick Health Department is also sponsoring a blood pressure clinic. That's tomorrow at Bader Village from 2 to 4 p.m., and that's also in Central City. To announce an event, you can send your information to NTV's date book. That'll be P.O. Box 220 in Kearney, the zip code 68848, and give us a couple weeks to get it on the air. Well, Mark will be in next with more market news as the crop production report hits home. Then later on, Ralph Wall introduces us to a family with a most unusual pet. This cat is usually only seen in zoos. Stay with us.
Recently, when I became deathly ill, I was able to summon an ambulance, my next-door neighbor, my family, and my doctor without picking up a telephone. I used this remote control to contact LifeCall, my 24-hour emergency medical response service. Watch. You just press this button and speak into the air and...
I'm having chest pain.
I'm calling paramedics and your family, Mr. Miller.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
We're sending help immediately, Mrs. Fletcher.
See? Protect yourself with LifeCall, and you're never alone. To get complete free information by mail about this affordable medical emergency response system, call toll-free now. LifeCall can save your life, so call to get free details by mail right away.
For free information about LifeCall, call 1-800-732-0800. That's 1-800-732-0800.
Better buys are in store at Spady Runcie.
Spady Runcie truly is an auto shopping center, and we believe that you'll believe Spady Runcie has top quality pre-owned trade-ins, like a 1989 Mercury Cougar local, one owner, only 14,000 miles. And we have a lot filled with new cars and trucks to choose from. So don't buy any new car or truck anywhere at any price until you get the right price from Spady Runcie, Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac, GOG Vigo in Beatrice, Nebraska.
With the rest of our market report, and how are we looking today?
Well, in terms of producing crops, Nebraska is still doing quite well.
Oh, good.
Of course, irrigation has a lot to do with that, and so actually the corn crop is looking real strong. Nebraska is headed for record numbers in corn production this year. The forecast is for 987.5 million bushels, which is 6% more than last year and 4% more than the previous record set in 1985. Irrigated corn is forecast at 788.4 million bushels, up 7% from last year, while dryland corn is about even with last year. Production of soybeans is below last year by 7%, with 76 million bushels projected for this year. Yield forecast is also down at 31 bushels an acre, 3.5 bushels below last year's average. Sorghum grain production is forecast at 70 million bushels, about 35% below last year's production. Sorghum yield is also down at 56 bushels per acre, which is 21 bushels below last year. These, of course, are the condition reports. Our production for wheat is estimated at 67.2 million bushels, or 6% below the July forecast and 21% below last year. Wheat yield is also down due to lack of moisture. Rain across the state last week helped to improve crops slightly. The National Ag Statistics Survey reports corn ratings across Nebraska at 12% excellent, 57% good, 20% fair, and 11% poor to very poor. Dryland corn is 26% good or better, while irrigated corn rates at 86% good or better. Crop development continues well ahead of normal and a year ago. Soybeans have improved with a 7% rated excellent, 40% rated good, and 38% fair, 50% poor. Sorghum is about the same as last year, or the same as a week ago, with crop development slightly ahead of normal. The crop is rated 2% excellent, 29% good, 48% fair, and 21% poor to very poor. Very poor. Alfalfa cutting is behind a bit this year, with only 4% of the crop rated excellent, 39% rated good, and 28% rated poor to very poor. It's time to take a look at our farm markets now. Our quotes are brought to us by DTN. Let's start first at the Chicago Board of Trade, where September corn at $249.5 is down 3.5. September wheat down a quarter at $298.5. August beans down 16 at $542.5. August meals down $290 at $176.80. Kansas City September wheat down a quarter at $298.5. December wheat down a quarter at $311.5. Let's check the late morning bids from our local terminals now. Kearney Grand Island corn down 3 at $234 on the spot price and $232 on the new crop. Hastings down 3. Superior down 3 on both bids. Elm Creek is down 3 on both bids. McCook and Imperial are down 3 on both bids. And Beatrice is down 3 on both bids. Alma's down 3 on both bids, and Gothenburg is down 2 on both bids. Moving on to the wheat prices now. Kearney Grand Island up 1 at $272 on the spot price and $286 on the new crop. Hastings up 1 at $282. Superior is up 2 at $277. McCook and Imperial up 2 at $261. Beatrice down 1 at $273. Moving on to Alma, we're down 1 at $270. Gothenburg steady at $266, and Kensington up 3 at $262. Now for the Milo prices. Kearney Grand Island down 6 at $385 on the spot price and $394 on the new crop. Hastings is down 6, Superior down 6 on both bids. McCook and Imperial down 6 on both bids. Beatrice down 3 on both bids. Alma's down 5 on both bids, and both Gothenburg and Kensington are steady. Kearney Grand Island soybeans down 15 at $509 on the spot price, $516 on the new crop. Superior down 15 on the spot price, down 16 on the new. Elm Creek down 3 on the spot price, down 4 on the new. They were taking protection at yesterday's close. McCook and Imperial down 15 on both bids, so is Beatrice. Moving on to Alma, we're down 15 on both bids. Gothenburg down 17 on the spot price and down 15 on the new crop. Let's check the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where August cattle are up 65 at 67.15. August feeders up 112 at 84.65. August hogs down 25 at 50.80. And August bellies down 197 at 43.17. 10 market estimated receipts of hogs, 16,500, which is 600 less than a week ago, and 4,100 less than the same day a year ago. There were 3,700 cattle at the 10 markets, which is 200 more than a week ago, and 3,600 less than the same day a year ago. In Omaha today, 1,600 hogs. Barrels and gelts at $220 to $260, paid $46 to $52. Sows at $350 to $650, paid $39 to $41.25. 450 cattle and calves. Steers at $1,100 to $1,300, paid $65 to $66.25. Heifers at $950 to $11.25, paid $64 to $66. Checking the direct trade now, we have reports on 13,100 head of cattle, steers 64 to 65.5 live, 100 to 103.50 dressed. Heifers 64 to 65 live and 101 to 103 dressed. Direct cash hogs are steady, barrels and gelts at 47.50 to 51, and the sows at 35 to 40. On Wall Street, the market is rallying and heavy trading after a jump in retail sales was reported. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up over 31 points at 30.33. Everybody likes to see that consumer spending.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
You bet.
Well, Ralph will have our weather planner next, and then he tells us about a family who's right at home with their big cat. Stay with us.
Whether you drive a big car, a little car, domestic, import, truck, van, or RV, there's a powerful Titan battery to get you where you're going. And with Titan's nationwide warranty service, you can always be sure of getting back. Trust Titan, the strongest name in batteries.
CG Tech, D&J Motor, and Elco Incorporated. Our huge Come As You Are summer savings event is on now at the Nebraska Waterbed Mart. Get big savings store-wide, like the Faircrest waterbed, just $279 with free sheets and mattress pad. This Sealy Softside waterbed's only $399. The Oak Traditions 4-poster is just $299. Looking for bedroom furniture? Save one-half on the Monterey dresser and hutch, now just $388. You'll save on sheet sets, comforters, nightstands, and so much more. Easy financing's available, so hurry into summer savings days at Nebraska Waterbed Mart. It's a tough sale, but somebody's got to have it.
Coming up tonight on NTV News, NTV's Gary Smolin is covering that plane crash in Webster County. He'll have the latest details tonight at 6. Mary Welter is covering the story of a youngster preparing for the upcoming hunting season by taking safety lessons. And in our Night Watch report at 10, NTV's Darren Zelke tells us about a fish kill under investigation at the Harlan County Reservoir. All this and more on NTV News at 6 and 10. Ralph's in now with a look at our weather planner. Mark and I are pleased with today's forecast.
Well, good. We have quite a bit of sunshine developing in the eastern areas. It's going to be slower to develop in the west. There's a stationary front out that way, and out in the neighborhood of that, there may be a few storms again tonight, mainly in the Panhandle and southwestern parts of Nebraska. Only 20% chance even at that.
All right. You were down in Kansas area not too long ago. With you've got a dog, no cat though, huh?
No cat.
You don't want this one either.
Yeah, this guy eats about 5 pounds of hamburger a day, and
wow,
pretty healthy. He's declawed, not yet defanged. I imagine the family's thinking about that eventually. Traveling salesmen working Monday in Kansas might get a big surprise at one farmhouse. While big barking dogs are what most salesmen contend with, this home has a pet that makes all visitors initially a little wary.
At first glance, the Kim and Cody Polachek farm looks like your ordinary old McDonald's spread. Here's some ducks. There's some sows, everywhere some moo cows, a healthy horse, a pen of sheep, even a furry dog asleep. It's when you start to take stock of the felines that you run into a cat of another color.
I was going somewhere on a trip picking something up, some machinery up, and I found out that the people at St. Joe, Missouri were raising cougars. So we just, I guess, went and bought it.
The Polacheks also have a pet raccoon. Clearly, these folks give new meaning to the term animal magnetism.
I guess we just can't resist them. They're just exciting and different, and we all kind of like a little bit of everything.
At least one neighbor is a bit more hesitant to embrace the cougar.
They don't have it on an elastic leash that it reaches my driveway, so it doesn't reach my driveway.
But Tehopi Yarrow, as the cat is named, isn't much of a threat according to this 7-year-old.
She hugs the bed, she sleeps on you, and she never hold anybody.
Well, I guess I'm as brave as any youngster. Still, you have to respect any kitty cat that would rather play with rope than the traditional ball of yarn. I'm Ralph Wall reporting.
On that note, we leave you. Have a great afternoon.
Find out what your car's true color really is at the Buggy Bath Car Wash. They can help you in any weather. The Buggy Bath Car Wash, 1215 South 2nd Avenue in Kearney.
Get ready for school at the Back to School sales in McCook.
Check out the discount prices at Ben Franklin for back to school. Save on scotch tape, backpacks, notebooks, lunch kits, and more. For all your back to school needs, shop Ben Franklin, downtown McCook.
Look your best with apparel from Performance Athletics, college t-shirts, backpacks, Air Jordan flight shirts, shoes from Nike, Reebok, Asics, and much more. Performance Athletics, McCook.
For all your back to school needs, shop McCook.
It was a